I think that was a passion for engineering, mix of science fiction. I'm a huge fan of science fiction.
It doesn't fly. It doesn't roll like wheels. It spins, quietly, effortlessly, like a glass marble with a mind of its own. Meet Japan's $2,500 T-Spinner, a transparent sphere that redefines how we move through cities. It's not just a vehicle, it's a glimpse of how mobility might feel in 2050. But here's the thing. The T-Spinner is only one piece of a revolution. Around the world, inventors, engineers, and dreamers are tearing up the rulebook, building air bikes, jetpacks, human-sized drones, and even flying scooters.
This is an actual flying car that's designed for the cities today that can be used by anybody.
Machines that blur the line between science fiction and reality. So, buckle up, because what you're about to see isn't the future promised in movies. It's the future being built right now. The Volanaut Air Bike, a speeder bike for the real world. It looks like it was ripped straight from the forest chase scene in Return of the Jedi. But this isn't science fiction, it's the Volanaut Air Bike, and it actually flies. Designed by Polish inventor and entrepreneur Tomasz Payton, co-founder of Jetson, the creators of the Jetson 1 eVTOL, this futuristic air bike is turning heads with its compact frame and raw power. It doesn't rely on spinning blades or exposed rotors. Instead, it uses a jet propulsion system to lift a single rider into the air, reaching speeds up to 200 kilometers per hour. Payton kept the project under wraps until April 2025, when footage of the prototype's test flight was released to the public. What they saw was a sleek carbon fiber craft, engineered using 3D printing and designed to hug the rider close, giving them a full 360-degree panoramic view. It's nimble enough to fly between buildings, quiet enough to avoid detection, and stable enough to hover on command thanks to an onboard computer stabilization system. But this machine isn't just for thrill seekers. Engineers are eyeing adaptations for urban transport, emergency response, and even military reconnaissance. With no exposed blades and an aerodynamic shell, it's safer and more versatile than many early flying prototypes. So, what happens when Star Wars meets street engineering? You get the Volanaut, a machine that doesn't just defy gravity, it dares to replace your motorcycle. The Martin Jetpack, born to hover, built to save. In a quiet hangar in New Zealand, a dream was born. Not for speed, not for luxury, but for lifting people straight into the air when nothing else could. Meet the Martin Jetpack. It looks simple, almost like a backpack strapped to a frame, but it's one of the most ambitious personal flight projects ever built. Powered by a 2-liter V4 gasoline engine, this machine produces over 200 horsepower, enough to lift an adult and keep them flying for up to 30 minutes, at altitudes reaching 900 meters. Developed by the Martin Aircraft Company, the jetpack uses ducted fans instead of open rotors, allowing for a more stable and safer flight, ideal for navigating tight spaces in search and rescue operations or disaster zones. With a top speed of 74 kilometers per hour and a payload of 120 kilograms, it's no toy. It's a workhorse in the sky. But like many radical innovations, the path hasn't been easy. After years of development, financial troubles forced the company to suspend operations in 2019. And yet, it didn't die. The project lives on in prototypes, test flights, and in the imagination of rescue teams who still believe it could one day save lives. The Martin Jetpack isn't just about personal mobility. It's about making the sky accessible to those who need it most, when seconds count, and no road will do. Marcello's human drone, built by one, meant for many. No big team, no million-dollar lab. Just one man, a blueprint, and an obsession with flight. Marcelo Lavrador, a Brazilian engineer, didn't wait for permission to build the future. In his garage, he constructed a full-scale manned multi-copter, a flying machine capable of lifting a human being into the air, powered not by dreams alone, but by sheer technical precision. His design looks raw, more sci-fi skeleton than showroom ready, but it works. The aircraft features a circular frame of high-powered motors, strategically arranged to generate lift while keeping the weight balanced. Marcelo added a custom-built manual control console, high-capacity battery packs, emergency shut-off systems, and even GPS monitoring. Every decision was made with flight safety in mind, despite working with a fraction of a commercial developer's budget. The first successful liftoff? Brief, but unforgettable. It proved that a single mind, equipped with knowledge and grit, could do what once required entire aerospace departments. Marcello's creation isn't just a machine, it's a statement. It has inspired a wave of DIY aerial mobility builders, some chasing performance, others chasing freedom. Because in a world where cities are getting denser and skies more regulated, building your own flying machine might be the most radical thing you can do. But what if building your own flying machine wasn't just a hobby, but a movement? What if the next revolution in transportation starts in someone's garage? SkyDrive SD-05, Japan's quiet leap into the sky. It rose slowly, like a whisper above the crowd, just 5 meters off the ground, but it was enough to feel the shift. Something once confined to anime and expo displays had just taken flight. This is the SkyDrive SD-05, Japan's most promising entry into the world of electric vertical takeoff and landing (eVTOL) aircraft. With a sleek 11-meter frame, autonomous flight control, and a range of 15 kilometers per charge, it's not a toy. It's a legitimate flying car designed for short-haul urban travel. At Expo 2025, the SD-05 hovered for 4 minutes before softly descending, drawing crowds of children, elders, and camera crews. Japan first tested piloted flights back in 2020, but progress has been slow and cautious. That caution, however, has turned into something real and reliable. SkyDrive isn't just building vehicles, they're building a future transit network, portable charging hubs, simulation pods for training, and even emergency parachute systems. The goal? To launch regular routes this summer, connecting high-traffic hubs across Japan's megacities. But despite the fanfare, Japan is still playing catch-up. Because China is already flying, and not in test mode, in service. So far, we've seen visionaries and engineers build the future. But what if one country just skipped the waiting phase and launched it? Ahang, where the future is already flying. While other nations test and wait, China is already boarding passengers. In the bustling city of Guangzhou, people aren't dreaming about flying taxis, they're booking them. The company leading the charge is Ahang, and their EH-216 autonomous aircraft isn't just a prototype. It's the world's first government-approved passenger-carrying eVTOL. No pilot, no joystick. Just a destination and a smooth vertical lift into the sky. The EH-216 uses 8 electric motors arranged around twin rotors, creating a fully redundant flight system. It carries up to 2 passengers, flies for about 25 minutes, and cruises at 130 kilometers per hour. But its real innovation is its autonomy. A centralized command center oversees all flights in real time, eliminating the need for pilot training or human intervention. And it's not just passenger drones. Ahang's expanding fleet includes cargo drones, emergency responders, and even drone swarms for light shows and citywide monitoring. They've already built urban takeoff hubs and battery swap stations, with plans to expand into dozens of cities. While other countries debate legislation, China is mapping air corridors. It's not just impressive, it's disruptive. Because the real question isn't, how close is the future? It's, can the rest of the world keep up? Richter Skyrider X1, the scooter that decided to fly. It looks like a regular scooter at first, sleek, foldable, fit for city traffic. But with the flip of a switch, the wheels retract, the arms unfold, and 8 rotors begin to spin. Seconds later, it's no longer part of traffic. It's flying above it. This is the Skyrider X1, a hybrid transport vehicle developed by the tech company Richter. Built for the commuter of tomorrow, the X1 blends familiar form with futuristic function. On the ground, it rides like a high-end electric scooter. In the air, it transforms into a drone-like aircraft capable of reaching 100 kilometers per hour and flying for up to 40 minutes. 4 arms extend from its body, each housing dual propellers, providing both lift and control. A built-in autopilot system ensures safety during takeoff and landing, while hydraulic retractable wheels support smooth transitions between ground and air modes. What sets the X1 apart is its dual identity. It's not trying to replace cars or aircraft, it's offering an escape hatch from both. A way to bypass traffic, beat deadlines, or get home when the roads are jammed. 2 models are currently in development, the X1 SL and X1 SX, tailored for different flight durations and user needs. It's not just mobility, it's modular freedom in the form of something that still fits in a parking spot. Lift aircraft, air travel with no license, no pilot, no fear. At a sleek test site on the outskirts of Japan, people gathered, curious, skeptical, wide-eyed. Kids clutched their parents, seniors craned their necks. Then, almost silently, it happened. An electric craft lifted off the ground, hovered like a dragonfly, and gently floated above the earth. This is Lift Aircraft, the Texas-based company behind Hexa, a fully electric personal aircraft now available for public rides in Japan. Unlike traditional planes or even most drones, Hexa is designed to be flown by anyone. No pilot's license required. The aircraft features 18 small rotors, giving it redundancy and balance. It's powered entirely by lithium batteries, offering short-range hops for sightseeing, training, or just the thrill of flight. Riders sit in a carbon fiber open cockpit, guided by a joystick and safeguarded by an onboard computer that prevents dangerous movements. But Lyft's launch in Japan goes beyond the aircraft. They introduced robot guides, AI suitcases that escort passengers, including the visually impaired, on 20 or 50-minute tours. It's not just futuristic, it's inclusive. The real beauty? Test riders describe the experience as intuitive and calm, a flight that feels like standing on a cloud. No engine roar, no vibration, just air, lift, and a view. Lift Aircraft isn't selling to billionaires, it's offering a flying experience to the everyday person, and for the first time, urban air travel feels personal. Toyota's T-Spinner, the transparent sphere that rolls into the future. It doesn't look like a car, it doesn't even look like a drone. At first glance, it resembles a giant glass marble, sitting perfectly still on the ground, until it starts to spin. This is the T-Spinner, a spherical concept vehicle developed by engineers at Toyota. With a shell made almost entirely of transparent smart glass and a seating pod suspended inside, the T-Spinner doesn't drive like a normal car. It rolls, rotates, and glides like a hamster ball on rails. Its core mechanism is a self-propelled platform that rides along internal tracks, shifting weight and direction to move the sphere in any direction. Controlled via an internal joystick, passengers can rotate, pivot, or move forward with zero-turn radius, making it ideal for dense urban environments. The prototype, developed in just 4 months, went from palm-sized model to a full-scale 2-meter sphere capable of transporting people. Engineers plan to integrate heads-up displays, augmented reality windows, and adaptive glass tinting for different light conditions. It's not just about where you're going, it's about how you experience the journey. From the inside, the world moves around you as if you're floating through space. T-Spinner may never dominate city streets, but it challenges the definition of a vehicle. Why follow roads when your entire world can spin around you? Moji's Ekranoplan, skimming the surface, defying convention. It doesn't take off like a plane, it doesn't float like a boat. It glides, just a few feet above the water, like it's chasing its own reflection. This is the Moji Ekranoplan, a modern twist on a Cold War-era idea known as the ground effect vehicle. Built by a small team of enthusiasts under the Moji Aircraft Initiative in China, this prototype flies low and fast by harnessing the air cushion between its wings and the water below. In just 100 days, the team constructed a full-scale model, 4.8 meters long, 3.88 meter wingspan, and designed for a single pilot. They used reinforced KT panels, aerospace-grade aluminum, fiberglass, and epoxy resin, a patchwork of materials selected for strength, weight, and cost. Powered by 4 electric drone motors and a high-capacity battery system, the Ekranoplan was tested over lakes and coastal waters, achieving smooth takeoffs, sharp turns, and incredible low-altitude speed, all without ever leaving true flight altitude. Controlled remotely, the vehicle has potential for rescue missions, coastal patrol, and recreational thrill rides. Its ability to stay close to the water makes it uniquely resistant to high winds and turbulence. It may not fly high, but the Moji Ekranoplan proves something just as daring. You don't need altitude to defy gravity. From spheres that roll to scooters that fly, from jetpacks to passenger drones, the future of transport isn't one machine. It's an explosion of ideas, each daring to break gravity, roads, or both. So the real question isn't which invention will win, it's this. When the future arrives, how will you choose to move?